Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads Mahabharata 379. As you may remember, Bhishma fell, but not on the ground. He fell on a bed of arrows, and there were divine voices. How is it that he fell at a time when the sun is proceeding towards the south in his path, along the ecliptic? It is now Dakshinayana, and it is not a good time to die. Bhishma smiled faintly as he spoke. He said, Devavrata is fallen, but he is not dead. I will keep my life from leaving this body until Uttaranaya comes, until the sun's chariot is turned toward the north in his course in the path of heaven. I will not die before that. Ganga, his mother, sent the rishis from heaven to welcome him. They came in the form of swans. They came and they circled round him. They waited for the fallen giant to speak. He told them about his decision to wait for the coming of Uttaranaya and said, please be good enough to convey the message to my mother that I must do this if I am to resume my previous form. The swans vanished from sight. The fall of Bhishma paralyzed everyone. The sons of Dhritarashtra were too stunned even to speak. They wept like children. The thought that the immortal Bhishma was now no more was a thought that froze the blood in the veins. It was something they could never imagine. Several of them had fallen down in a faint. In the midst of this unrest, Bhishma was lying with his eyes closed, preparing himself for the end. The Pandavas and the Kauravas were all standing round him, with their heads hung down and with their eyes full of tears. It was pathetic to see Duryodhana. He looked so dreadfully unhappy. He could do nothing. He could say nothing. He just stood there near his grandfather, looking at him all the while. Dushasana had gone to the rear of the army as soon as the great man had fallen. He went to Drona and he saw Drona's chariot coming towards the front of the army. Drona was coming to the defense of Bhishma. The king's brother was going at a fast rate. Drona stopped his chariot and waited for the coming of Dushasana. The prince broke the news to Drona. The Acharya was not prepared for the shock. He fainted away in his chariot, and he had to be revived. He regained his consciousness, and the first thing he did was to recall the troops from the field. The paralyzed army now began to move slowly toward the camps. Warriors from either side began to arrive to the side of Bhishma. They came one by one with their feet bare, with their armors laid aside, clad in just ordinary clothes. With their chests covered by the thinnest of upper clothes, the heroes came and stood by the side of Bhishma. They looked like devas, standing in the presence of the creator Brahma. The Pandavas and the Kauravas were there, sharing the same grief. Bhishma spoke to all of them. He welcomed them and began to talk. Just before he began to speak, he said, my head is hurting me. I want a pillow. Everyone who was near hurried out. Each brought a pillow. Some were silk and some were embroidered. In short, they were all pillows fit for the head of a prince. But it annoyed Bhishma to see them all. He said, these pillows are for sleeping at home, but they are not the fitting pillows for one who has fallen on the battlefield. Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.